Today on the Topping Show, a woman in Germany was fined for simply posting criminal statistics on social media. The Met Gala is here and gone, and the best dressed woman is mostly roasted on social media. Pro Palestine rioters vandalize a World War I memorial. Boy Scouts to change their name to Scouting America and Welcoming Girls. Vivek on working class moving to Republican Party. Governor Kathy Hochul says black kids don't know what computers are. A California bill would force self checkouts to close. Lucid Q1 results are in. Businesses to relabel DEI as inclusion. And Ford Mavericks are being recalled. All of that and much, much more on The Topping Show. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of The Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency in IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. I gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, you see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or a business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, going over to the business part of the podcast, you have Lucid Q1 results are in, and we take a look at their stock performance. Now, this is brought to us thanks to one of my favorite, I'd say it's a retro site, but I guess it kind of is a retro site. Good old Yahoo News, which I was going to say, depending on your age demographic, you might not remember they were a thing. At one point, they were larger than Google, and they turned down a bid from Microsoft for about $40 billion to sell out. They later sold for around, I think, $4 billion. They sold off Yahoo to Verizon. So, again, when it comes to stock and taking offers to sell your company, timing is very important. Now, this is brought to us thanks specifically to a writer by the name of Pras Submaranian over at, again, the Yahoo Finest. They note, quote, Lucid stock down on Q1 loss confirms Gravity SUV on track for late 2024. Lucid also said it has enough liquidity to last into the second quarter of 2025. Partially thanks to them getting a huge cash injection. Was it Q3 or Q4 last year? It was over $1 billion, where it's also, spoiler, it's in convertible notes. So eventually that will be converted into stock, and that will cause the stock dip a little bit even more. And also luxury, EVs right now are, to me, luxury toys for a lot of people that maybe aren't good at math in terms of long-term ROI, or again, it's just they understand it's a big loss that they're going to take on, or they're leasing the vehicle, which in some cases that does make sense. Now, Lucid, they're known, in my opinion, for selling a $250,000 EV that looks rudimentary at best and is almost makes you yawn in terms of the lack of unique design. Now they also have an entry-level vehicle that's around 90,000, maybe 75,000. So, and they all look alike unless you're a real enthusiast, which again is not good marketing. So they raised a bunch of money last year. Now, Lucid Group, in terms of their stock, they know that, quote, for the quarter, Lucid reported a revenue of 172.7 million, topping, good word there, might be a little biased, topping expectations of 150 million and nearly 16% higher than a year ago. Lucid's loss per share, however, came in at 30 cents, greater than the estimates of 25 cents, when adjusted EBITDA loss coming at 598.4 million compared to 505.1 million forecasted by analysts at Bloomberg. They know that stock earlier this week had slipped about 10% earlier this week on Tuesday. Spoiler alert, it did come up a little bit. Last month, Lucid also announced that they produced 1,728 vehicles and delivered 1,967 vehicles in the first quarter, compared to 2,391 vehicles produced and 1,734 vehicles delivered in Q4. Subsequently, higher delivery numbers were positive news for investors. The company said that it targeted 9,000 vehicles to be produced in 2024. Last year, they produced 8,428 and delivered 6,001 to clients. And looking at their stock, let's see here. I was looking at Rivian a little bit earlier. They're doing pretty good. Lucid, yeah, they're not doing great. Their stock is $2.64 per share at the time of this recording. Granted, by the time this video is rendered and uploaded, it'll be different. That's how the stock market is. But $2, just went down and up and down and up. Fascinating. Well, kind of. But yeah, for less than a price of coffee, you can buy a share of Lucid. Now, it looks at, again, we went to their 5-day analysis. It actually did go up a little bit. 1 month, they're still up. 6 months, though, they're down 13%. Year to date, they're down 0.4%. Past year, they're down 13%. 5 year, they're down, 13%? So again, they're not doing great. And they're just stock, if you're only tuning in, if you look at the long-term stock, like we look at the max stock trend. Okay, there we go, full screen. Oh, come on, Yahoo. I attempted to do full screen. It did not work that great. So yeah, they lost a majority of their share. So it'll be an interesting year. I mean, I don't think luxury items are going to be a big thing in 2024. A lot of people are struggling just to pay rent. You got, again, 40-year hyperinflation. You got unprecedented economical and political uncertainty, people losing jobs left and right. Again, Lucid is selling a luxury product no one on this planet needs. Again, there might be some people who they love the design, they love the build quality, and there are some EV enthusiasts who love these things. I understand that completely. I don't think there's enough of those people to actually make it a long-term sustainable product for Lucid necessarily. Now, again, the silver lining for Lucid, to me, one, and again, not financial advice. I always tell the best gamble you can do is just invest in yourself by learning a new trade or skill set, start a small business. But when it comes to Lucid stock, the only silver lining is that they have a big interest that doesn't want them to go out of business. The government of Saudi Arabia, one of the largest pension funds of that country, is investing billions into Lucid, is the largest shareholder, well, single shareholding entity of their stock, last time I checked. And they have enough money where they can take a loss for not forever, but darn near forever because of Saudi Arabia's rich natural resources that they export globally. So, and the country, again, the country leadership over there, they want to move more towards tech and more innovation and move away from simple natural resources. So they're trying to innovate their country, and they're having incentives for all these tech companies to go set up shop there. And truth be told, the first out of the United States Lucid assembly line is over in Saudi Arabia, where they actually started to assemble cars with this Q4 2023. That being said, they're not manufacturing them, they're making them in California, stripping them down to components, shipping them over there. Ideally, or some people are expecting that way you could say it's made in the USA with tax breaks, and over there you have the assembly, and you're slowly training employees over there to build them. But again, they are expanding, and it's no coincidence that the one other place where they assemble the vehicles outside the US is, in fact, over in Saudi Arabia. So it'll be interesting to see if Lucid can make it this year. Again, they're struggling. They do have that. I mean, what do you think? Is that a good looking SUV? To me, it looks ugly as sin. Very granted, I don't like a lot of SUV designs. I mean, if I had a gun to my head, someone said, Topping, you have to buy an SUV. Well, granted, I'd probably go for a quote. It's kind of sad to think it's vintage, but now 2008 is considered a vintage vehicle for some people. I'd probably get a 2006, 2008 Porsche. Was it Cayenne GTS? They had a V8 stick shift for a Porsche SUV, which they only imported, I think, 293 of them in the US. So good luck finding one for, under like 50 grand that's less than 100,000 miles. They don't exist. I've looked, trust me. But yeah, I mean, granted, I'm not the target audience for Lucid or someone who'd be a prospective customer, but do you know anyone who's actually bought one? I mean, I've seen them just because I have some business meetings downtown and throughout DFW or Dallas Fort Worth, and they're sort of fairly affluent places, so to say. So I've seen them a couple, and I've seen the showroom, but I mean, I've never really seen one really on the streets, so to say. Like when I'm commuting to a customer meeting or I'm going somewhere, I've yet to see one. Granted, again, it's a luxury item. They're not desiring to be the number one manufacturer by units of value sold. But still, do you know anyone who actually bought a Lucid? And do you think they will make it this year when, again, unprecedented economic uncertainty, people are trying to tighten their belts, they're not buying as many luxury products? Let me know in the comments. As always, I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you could click that button, I would greatly appreciate it. Also, taking the time to leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.